Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we have a Lucky Strike ashtray that was included in the package that Gavin Lannon sent me a month or so back. It is very heavy, black. I'm not sure if that is glass or porcelain. It does have a sticker on the bottom still that says Made in China. I had determined to keep this ashtray for myself simply because it is blemished. The circle forming the black dot and the green definitely have damage to the paint. If you look closely, it even looks like the red, and well, maybe there's not damage, maybe there's some discoloration. Actually looks like maybe some of the red has gotten over onto that white dot. Anyway, I'm not even sure of the significance. I have no idea what the significance of these dot symbols are for Lucky Strike, or if those were just their color scheme. I would not have known that that was a Lucky Strike ashtray were it not for the same color symbols being on another ashtray that was in there, pointing me at least in the right direction. It's a low profile ashtray, obviously made for commercially produced Lucky Strike cigarettes, I would think. But the rests in it, while there's one on each of the four sides or four corners of the circle, however you would want to put it, they're tight rests, so that this is a little bit thicker than most filters or crutches would be, but they squeeze in there nicely. I think most commercially produced cigarettes would as well. Nice, tight cigarette rests on a low profile ashtray that would still provide a good amount of space for you to build up ash before you had to empty it. It's marked 2003 BMW T Company. Part of the paint of that appears to be missing as well. There is a ding, possibly a chip right there. So at least one chip or blemish to the finish, but nothing major. But as I was saying at the beginning of the video, that's why I was going to use this one. I'm not really tied to any of the old brands. I used to smoke Parliaments, I used to smoke Camels, I used to smoke Marlboros. I never smoked Lucky Strike, but I did like the idea of using this ashtray and having a Lucky Strike ashtray. It is an iconic brand that a lot of people collect and they would recognize immediately. But at Gavin's urging, I am going to sell this one. We'll probably put this in one of the penny start 100% to HDSA charity auctions. And because it is blemished, then I'm not going to sweat too much. If it might get close to giving away. But I will say that this is exactly my style of ashtray, toward the big end of the range for me. I like them to be low profile. I like to have a lot of rests. And as I said, you've still got a good amount of space here to ash in before you're going to have to empty it. It is also a very heavy duty. It's not light. So heavy duty glass or porcelain that is, I don't know if it's coated or glazed or painted or how they get the finish on there. But it is about 4.5 inches from the outside to the outside. About a little less than 4 inches, about 3 7/8 from the inside diameter. Measures from where it sits on the table, looks like at approximately 1 1/4 inch, or there and about. And then with this ruler, it's going to be a little bit hard for me to measure how deep it is. Looks like just short, maybe about 3/4 of an inch. Once you take off the bottom here. So there's your rough dimensions. Along with the condition of the, at least a chip there, maybe another ding or two. Definitely some damage to the paint and the lettering. Hard for me to say whether it has ever been used. It was very clean when I got it. But as I say, it does show some signs of use, at least a ding there. You know, that I'm not even sure that it lost its finish. Maybe I guess it's definitely damage to the finish. I don't know how deep or how likely that's going to be to spread, but do have that blemish, and then the decorative lettering and color pattern. So if you're a Lucky Strike fan and you haven't participated in our penny start auctions before, get over to eBay, follow us, Dependable Flame. Make sure that you get that delivered to your email, get notified every time we put up a new auction. All of our auctions benefit HDSA, Huntington's Disease Society of America, with at least 10% of every listing going to that organization. And then we will be starting up soon the Penny Start 100% to HDSA listings. Until next time.